another day, and I don't know how much time I've actually wasted on my phone. I know it's a lot. I know that every time I say I'm not going to go on my phone, I'm not going to waste time scrolling and endlessly looking at new things, and all of a sudden, out of habit, my phone is there, and I'm wasting time again. I'm sick of it. I don't want it. And if you are sick of it too, I'm going to give you 3 ways that we can stop scrolling endlessly in our phone so we can have lives so fun we won't even have time to scroll. The first way is to make a plan. I know that doesn't seem like a crazy thing, but it's amazing how often when you think of doing something and actually write it down. Now, there's a lot of different ways that you can actually make a plan. You can use a planner, you can put it on your phone, you could journal, you could time block. It doesn't really matter what it is, but what I mean by make a plan is actually take a step back and think about your life. So often we're just coasting through life and life is happening to us. When we're on our phones, especially when we're scrolling, we don't even know what's going to come up next. And so it just catches us in this loop. And all of a sudden, if you're anything like me, you spend hours later and you're just like, what did I even do? I didn't even do anything today. But if we make a plan, if we stop and we say, these are the things I want to do with my life. These are the things I want to do with my week, with my career, with my love life, with my family, with my day. What would my day want to look like? And if we start putting those things on a schedule, if we start writing those things down and then planning for those things. So maybe I want to work out and I want to drink more water and I want to read my Bible and I want to spend more time with my family and I want to go on more walks. I want to work harder at work. I want to get better at my job. I want to work on public speaking more. I want to learn a skill. You can go on and on and on. And if you really think about it, there's probably a lot of things in your life that you want to do, and the phone is stealing that time from you. It's stealing. And we're not even conscious of it a lot of times. And there's so much more things in our life that are so much more fulfilling, so much more fun, that if we would just think about it, look at it, and make a plan, we might be able to get those things done. We might actually be able to do those things. And when you start doing those things, you're not thinking about the phone anymore. You're not thinking about, oh, I wish I was on TikTok scrolling. I wish I was on Instagram. I wish I was on all these different things. You're not thinking about that because you're thinking about, what's the next thing I want to do? What's the next thing I want to accomplish? What's the next thing I want to do for fun? So the first way is make a plan and start executing it. The second way that we can make our lives so fun that we stop scrolling is to create new habits. I've kind of already talked about it, but so often it's not a conscious decision most times. We pick our phone up out of habit. We get a text message, we get a notification, we get an email, and then it's in our hand, and we start going on the apps again. We start scrolling, and we're right back where we don't want to be. It's because it's a habit. And so if we identify that it's a habit, we can say, when I do this thing, so when I pick up my phone, instead, I'm going to do something else. And this can be whatever you want it to be, but put something in its place, something that is on your plan. For example, if you want to read more, say, every time that I'm scrolling on my phone, I'm going to read. Now, you're not going to do it perfectly at all. It's not going to be perfect the first time. It's not going to be perfect the 50th time. But instead of picking up your phone, pick up a book. And then you can even go a step farther to make it even easier. get some books on your phone to make it even easier and help develop that habit. I'm not saying you don't need a phone, but it's the scrolling that we don't want to do. It's the scrolling that just consumes our life and we're not in control of it. So if you want to walk more, say every time I catch myself scrolling, I'm going to put the phone down and I'm going to start walking. I'm going to walk. That's what I'm going to do. And then you get something even better out of it. You get a little bit of exercise, a little bit of mental clarity, and you start building habits. Every time, maybe it's at work where you're like, every time I'm on my phone, instead of do that, I'm going to pull out my journal or I'm going to pull out my notebook and I'm going to write down the things that I need to do. So I focus, I reorient myself and put myself in line with what my long-term self wants. Because that's the thing that the phone does. Why it's so alluring to us is that it's a constant dopamine hit that we get. It's a little bit of, oh, what's next? Oh, what's next? What was that? But it's only feeding the immediate. We need to think in the long term to be able to defeat this. That's why the first point of making a plan is so important, because a plan means I'm going to look in the future. It means I'm going to care about my future self. I'm going to care about my future state, not just right now. And the habits we form, those help our future self in the present. It's the little things that we do all the time that form our future self. And that's why making a new habit, identifying when I do this, I'm going to substitute something else for it. I'm going to slowly start to get a new habit to slowly change myself into the person that I want to be. So the second thing is to make new habits. The third thing, and I think this is one of the things that it's not just good for this, it is good in life just to do this. And so often, we don't want to do this. And it's probably because of school, because so many things we rebel on in school. And, back in school, you would do a test and you'd get a grade for it. You would do homework and you'd get feedback from it. And then when we broke out of school, it's like we don't want feedback anymore. We don't want that. We don't want to actually be honest with ourselves and give an honest assessment of how am I actually doing. So often people are nice to us, trying to make us feel better, especially ourselves. We are not honest with ourselves. We say the things to help ourselves feel better. But again, that's just the same response as scrolling on the phone. It's instant gratification. It makes me feel better in the moment, but my future self, my 10 years later self, my older self, is not going to benefit from that at all. So we need to be honest with ourselves. And we do that by reviewing our day. And that's the third point, is that every day, every week, every year, assess yourself. How am I doing with my plans? Am I sticking with my plans? How am I doing with my new habits? Am I sticking with my habits? Assess it. Am I spending too much time on the phone? Am I scrolling too much? Is everything else in control of me? Or am I setting the tone for the direction I want my life to go? And you can only do that by honestly being brutally honest with yourself. It's the only way change will happen. By addressing, you know what? I'm failing. I'm failing at this here. It could be in anything. I know we're talking about scrolling on the phone, but it could be, why am I not doing well at work? Why doesn't my boss like me? Why don't my coworkers respect me? Could there be outside reasons? Sure, but none of those help you. Taking ownership, that's what helps you. Taking an honest assessment of where you are and recognizing work's not where I want it to be. And then saying, I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to make a plan. I'm going to change my habits, and I'm going to execute it. And I'm going to keep looking at it and keep updating and keep reviewing my progress towards that. Maybe it's in your marriage. Maybe it's in your relationships that you have. And you're saying, man, why do we keep fighting about this thing? That's not what you want. The only way that you can get that fixed is to review it, to address it and be completely honest with, are there things that I could be doing differently? Yeah, there might be things that they can do differently. I can't control that. I can't control that at all. You can't control anybody in life. You can control you. That's the same thing as the phone. You can't control to a certain degree, especially when you're scrolling though. You don't control what's coming through. When you're on social media, you can't control what's coming through. When you're on X or anything, whatever shows up, you're just scrolling, and whatever comes through, you're gonna see. And it's in control of your mind. It's in control of your life rather than you. And I want you to be in control of your life. So set a plan. List out all the things that you want to do and start doing them. Turn them into habits. Take the phone away. Identify, I'm always wasting time when I'm sitting on the couch, when I'm going to the bathroom, when I'm sitting at my job, and saying, instead of that, I'm gonna do this. I'm going to read a book. I'm going to do emails. I'm going to do something that my future self will be proud of and not ashamed of. And finally, make sure that you are assessing yourself. Be brutally honest. I don't mean be mean to yourself. It's not about that. It's not about giving yourself a pity party and turning yourself into a martyr. That doesn't help either, because then you're going to think everything's against you and it's pointless. The point is to say, there's something that's going on that I don't like. I want to change it. Make a plan, make some habits, address it, and then keep addressing it. Say that you're going to get better every day. If you like this content, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Comment down below. I'd like to hear some feedback from you guys about how you are conquering getting over scrolling on your phone. What are some of the ways that the new habits that you are putting into place? I'd like to hear your feedback. Talk to you in the next one.